So in my digging, I've discovered that because I'm close to the ground, there's quite a few branches, and that's fine. I came prepared, so I'll just show you what I'm talking about. You can see there's a couple of branches. Some of them are pretty thorny, so I'm not really up for kneeling on thorns. So I came prepared. I'm gonna go grab my saw. I'm gonna get to work on those little branches. Right, be right back. Digging's going pretty good. Let's go have a look inside. So I found sticks in two places. I got two issues right now. I brought lots of gloves. I brought an extra pair of gloves, but they're not. The second pair is more like a warm, stay warm kind of pair. So I've worked these Gore-Tex gloves and they are soaking wet. Now I'm warm right now, so I'm not worried about having hypothermia right now, but I'm just adding up the concerns here. My biggest concern really is, what if this collapses while I'm in it? Like the maximum depth of snow is like that much snow. Okay, and I can break free of that snow if it were to fall on me. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking. Back to work. Kind of a moment of excitement now. I was able to make it to the back of the tunnel. But the first dig that you do, you go kind of in a narrow path all the way to find the back end of the cave. And the reason why you do that is because if you widen out early, you have all the weight of the snow structure bearing down the center and it'll collapse on you. Needless to say, I learned the hard way that you don't do that. And that's partly why I'm a little nervous out here. I'm kind of like really nobody that could get me out. Okay, I've been working for about 4 hours straight on this, and I finally got it completed. That's the good news. The good news is it's ready to move in. The bad news is I'm soaked to the bone, and I'm starting to get chills that I can't control. We're gonna have a quick little tour of the hut here, and hopefully you'll come back to this if I'm able to warm up in the little shelter they've got. I'm so wet, and I could change, but I've just got like long johns and these pants are soaking wet. The shirt underneath here is soaking wet. So if I can change out in this little shelter, I think I could like come back, move in, and then spend the night. But in case I don't, let's take a little tour. All right, so there it is on the outside. You can see. Go down inside here. It's a bit tricky getting inside. Whew. There we go. So I don't know how well the camera will capture. Oh, I have an idea. Might help to take the ND filter off. Oh, I'm cold. So here we go. It's super cozy. My hands are really cold. These gloves suck. See, these new ones, the other ones at least were Gore-Tex. These are going to get wet and then they're going to be screwed. So I think We'll see. There's room enough. Okay, I can lay down like that. Okay, I can sleep. And the only finishing touches I need to add is I need to add a little trough around the outsides, the perimeter. And that's just for the condensation. So as my breath starts to condense on the inside of this, it'll start to kind of ice up and then drip. And it needs to kind of trickle down the sides and then have somewhere to go. Because it will get warm in here. I'm way less afraid of it collapsing. I think that's the good news. Pretty happy with how it turned out, actually. There's the exit. My favorite thing about this in here is just how quiet it is. The sound is just absorbed by the snow, and it just feels, I don't know, when I got in here, once I had cleared out enough to sit up in here and it was just dead quiet, I was like, this is why I made this. I mean, I can barely hear the traffic on the road out there. But there's no sound. It's completely absorbed by the snow. And that's just awesome. Oh, I can hear a car. And my butt's getting really cold. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I'm starting to get cold, and if I don't change, I'm gonna start going into hypothermia. So let's go see if I can warm up. Yeah, that was an adventure. I'm still out of breath. I think I've pinched something in my back. It's just killing me. To recap some of the lessons from today, we'll start with the positives. I absolutely can dig a snow cave correctly. These conditions were like magical. Other than it being, a little bit cold, I quite enjoyed that whole experience, and I really enjoyed the quiet of the inside of that snow cave. Coming out and finding and just pushing through, and I mean, there's a part of me that even was like, there's not really enough snow to do a snow cave. And then I was like, no, I gotta find a drift. I know that I can find that. So being confident in myself and just doing it, that felt good. The big lessons to learn from this, number one, I think it would be better to do this with somebody else. The amount of work that I've done right now on my 46-year-old body, I mean, when I was in my 20s, I could have handled that, but like, I'm exhausted. And I don't have much left in me. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll go. I'm just gonna go and see if I can get into this little warm-up hut. So that was a big one. Bringing extra Gore-Tex gloves, because like I can't use my hands right now. I have no way of using my hands. My 2 pairs of gloves are already soaked all the way through. And then the one I had is kind of my spare, more like a sponge. So the first thing it'll touch, it'll get wet. It's probably gonna be all too bright. Yep. Okay, let's go check out this warming hut. Oh. Okay. Well, this could work. If I get that fire going, we're in business. Ooh. Firelighter's secret weapon. Dryer lint and Vaseline. Vaseline's a little cold. The nice thing about dryer lint, it weighs nothing, right? It goes in your pack. I'm so concerned. Oh, that's so much better. So much better. There we go. Okay. Oh, my feet are soaking wet too. Man, this little shelter is the bomb. Oh, it's still warm. Oh yes, come to Papa. It's still too hot to drink. That's amazing. Well, this fire's taking longer than I thought it would. Oh yeah. Okay. Like for me to dry all this stuff out here, this is hours, 3 hours probably to really get it dry enough to go back outside. Maybe it's still too early to call. I don't want to call it off because, you know, this little haven is pretty amazing. And if it works out, then yeah, absolutely, you could go back there. But it would mean, so 3 or 4 hours from now, it's 5 o'clock now, and that puts it at like 8 o'clock. It'll be pitch black. I'll be setting up a sleeping bag, a tent, sleeping bag, a mattress, in the dark, in a snow cave. That's like mostly built. There's still like a few finishing touches to do to it. Mostly built. I don't know. Just how I'm feeling now. I feel way better being here, and I'm amazed that this place exists. But maybe part of me thought the fire was already going or something. And anyway, so I'll wait it out. But and if it ends up that I end up going back, then we go back. And if it ends up that I'm still here 3 hours from now, freezing cold, then I think we'll have to call it. So we'll talk later. You're just like a big chicken and stuff. Super chicken. Buck. Like, come on, man.
We are so
What's wrong with
cold.
you?
Why are we
could
even
easily
here?
go back and sleep in that.
We should be at home. I'm hungry and tired and I want
We're
some
like bros.
food.
We always
Can't
do
we just go
stuff.
home?
Bros do stuff. I do stuff. Be cool, man. Be cool.
Come on, Jan. You were a guide at one time. You call yourself a guide? What kind of guide doesn't even sleep in a wee little shelter that you built with your own hands? What's wrong with you? Go.
Don't stay this madness.
Oh.
GandOAF, I just need some advice. I don't feel like I'm doing a very good job with anything. I feel like I try to do things, but I always seem to mess them up. I want to help people, but I just feel like I'm spinning around in circles.
Well, let me put it this way. All that you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us.
No, like I'm using my time. It's not like I'm not using my time.
Oh, yes, I suppose. When in doubt, follow your nose.
Maybe I'm not understanding.
Oh, yes, I suppose. You shall not pass.
Okay, like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yes, sorry. Have you tried thinking about, I don't know, giving it a go on YouTube? I hear there's all kinds of ways to make yourself known on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, GandOAF.
But don't bother with the snow cave. Just be sure you collapse the snow cave before you go, just in case somebody else finds it and ends up dead. Would be a big problem later. All right, good chat. I'll be on my way.
Well, yes, all good things come to an end. Wow. Even with the side collapsed out, it won't fall in. Don't want to get stuck in there. Holy cow. There's nothing holding that up. Look at that. It's just hanging there. Yeah. The snow cave wasn't going to collapse anytime soon. Oh, I haven't got anything left in me. There we go. Oh, that work. Oh yeah, the other lesson. This OAF needs to get back in shape.